Hey everybody, grafting avocado today. A different kind of avocado grafting. I'm going to show you something a little bit different today. Okay, this is February, Southern California, zone 10. It's still winter, yes, but the avocado buds are starting to wake up. They're starting to pop. Great time to graft. They're starting to wake up from their winter dormancy out here in Southern California. Okay, so now is the time to do some grafting. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's go. I'm going to take my scion now. I'm going to take my scion, this little piece here, I'm going to cut here. There's my scion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a piece. This is a piece of the Nimlio avocado. Special avocado, rare variety, delicious avocado. Deserves to be propagated, deserves to be spread to the world, and there should be more Nimlio trees in the world. So we're going to do that today. We're going to create more Nimlio avocado trees with the power of grafting, all right? Let's get started. Let's go. Come on. So this is what I'm talking about when I was saying the buds are starting to pop and they're starting to push. These are the buds that I'm talking about. Look, they're swollen up. In a few days, just in a few days, they're going to emerge as flowers or leaves. And this is the perfect stage to graft avocado, when the buds are nice and fat like this. I've done a lot of videos on my channel showing you exactly how to select avocado scion wood. So subscribe to my channel. You can find all those videos about how to choose the right piece of scion wood, okay? But this is a really good piece of scion wood because there's buds all along it. And there's only like 5 or 6 inches of scions here. 5 or 6 inches stem. That's all you really need. In fact, I can cut this in half and I'd have 2 pieces of scion wood from 5 or 6 inches. That's all you need, okay? Because you can get really creative. From a small little stem of avocado, you can create a brand new tree, a huge tree, a productive tree. All right, you can do it with the power of grafting. All right, let me prepare the scion. As usual, if you've been following my channel for a while, this is nothing new to you. You've seen this many times before, but for the newcomers, this is how I prep the scion. We're gonna get rid of the leaves. We don't need them. We don't need the leaves, and we don't need these stems either. I'm gonna remove the stems as well. I'm gonna get rid of all that. All right, guys, here's the scion. It's ready. It's prepared. Like I said earlier, you can. I am gonna actually cut it in half right here. And this bud is preserved. This bud is preserved. For this kind of graft, you only need this much. This is about 2.5 to 3 inches of scion, and I could maybe work with this piece later on as well. Okay. All right, that's all I need. Okay. Now let me show you what I'm gonna graft onto. Okay, guys, this is an avocado seedling in a 1-gallon container, and it's growing out really well. This is a Nabal avocado seedling, and it's gotten thick enough that I can graft onto it. This is at least a pencil thickness, and that's once the stem reaches that much thickness, you can graft onto it. And this kind of graft I'm going to show you is really nice because you can preserve all this. You can keep the leaves. You can keep all of this growth. You don't have to cut it back. In the classic cleft graft, I would have to cut the tree, the stem down here. I would have to get rid of all this and cut down here and do a graft there. But I don't have to do that in this style of graft that I'm going to show you. This kind of graft is called a veneer graft. We're going to graft it onto the side. It's going to be like a beneficial host. This is going to be the host. It's going to host our scion, and they're going to grow together, okay? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's go. Oh, guys, by the way, here's my materials, all right? Little pruning shear, utility knife, nice sharp blade, our scion, of course, grafting tape, which you can find online. This is buddy tape, which I really like, buddy tape. And we got the classic parafilm grafting tape as well. I'll put the link to all these in the description. You guys can find them all, okay? Now I'm going to wrap my scion. We're going to wrap it up because that's what keeps it alive as it's fusing with the rootstock. So this is buddy tape. This is great stuff. I really like it a lot. And I'm going to wrap the upper portion, my scion, with the buddy tape. We're covering the buds. We're covering everything. This tape keeps the scion alive while it's trying to fuse with the rootstock. I left this part exposed because I'm going to cut this part and insert it into our host tree, our rootstock tree. Okay? Okay, so again, classic cleft graft. I would cut this stem down to here and get rid of all this beautiful, nice growth. I would get rid of it all. But in this case, with this style of graft, we can leave everything and just put a little slice here and insert the scion there, okay? With my utility knife, I'm gonna make a slice, nice little slice down here. That's gonna go down about half an inch maybe. A quarter inch, between a quarter inch and a half an inch. We're gonna slice inwards. Let me show you what that slice looks like. It's a little slice off to the side. Okay. And then for the rest, the other cut, I'm gonna cut an inch to an inch and a half up here. We're gonna slice downwards. We're gonna slice all that away. Just like that. So basically with this graft, with this style of graft, this is the pocket. You see the little pocket? It's gonna receive the scion. Let me cut a little bit more here. That's gonna receive our scion, the little pocket there. In fact, I wanna make the pocket a little bit deeper. Let's go a little bit more. Make a deeper pocket for a better fit. That's about a quarter inch to a little bit more. In between a quarter inch and a half inch cut. Little pocket down there, you see? Okay. Now, I'm gonna take my scion, this piece of the tree that we want, the Nimlio, and we're gonna fit it in here, okay? By making a cut. Let me show you the cut I make here. Okay. So you see the natural curve of this scion? It's facing away. It's curved outwards. I'm gonna make a cut on the side of the curve that's facing away, because when I put it here, it's gonna face outwards. I don't want to cut inwards, see? You don't want that. That's not a good growth. You want a more outwards facing kind of cut. All right? So I'm gonna make my cut here. Check it out. Just like a classic cleft graft, we're slicing away towards the center. And then I'm gonna come, one side gets the classic cut, about an inch cut. The other side is gonna get half of that. So we can fit it, slide it into the pocket. So just like that. That's what it looks like. One side and the other side. Thinner cut, shorter cut on one side, longer cut on the other side. And then we're gonna go inwards. The longer cut side is gonna go inside, inwards toward the center of the trunk, and the shorter cut is gonna be outwards. Let me fit it in first, and then you can see. There we go, just like that. That's what it looks like. All right, now we're ready to wrap it all up. All right, guys, this is my parafilm grafting tape. I'm gonna take this tape, I'm gonna stretch it, and I'm gonna wrap everything together. I'm gonna fuse them together. I'm gonna wrap this tape really tightly. This tape extends itself, it stretches. Look at the stretch. You see that? You gotta stretch it first and then wrap around the whole section, and you bring them two together and you hold them in place. The scion hold in place with the rootstock, and then you wait for it to grow. And that's grafting. That's grafting. All right, let me wrap it together. I'm gonna stretch. Oh, sometimes the tape breaks, not a problem. Stretch and wrap, stretch and wrap. Stretch a few layers, at least 5 layers around the part of the area where you did your cuts. We're gonna wrap it up nice and snug for them to grow together. All right. Yay. Okay. All right. There's still air exposure. You don't want air going in there. You want them to be airtight. You don't want moisture. You don't want rain stuff falling in there. So I'm gonna gently do some more tape in that area right there. So I'm gonna go in between, create an airtight space right there. I'm gonna go the other way. Stretch the other way. Okay. There we go. Lock it up. A little bit more tape in between them for good measure. Okay. Now we've covered everything with the parafilm. I'm gonna do one layer of buddy tape. Buddy tape. This is the buddy tape. This stuff is a little bit more expensive, so I want to be a little bit more judicious with this. One final layer of buddy tape around the whole thing. Around the section where I cut.
It's stretchy.
Yeah, it's really stretchy. There it is. The buddy tape gets one final layer. Buddy tape is fantastic. It locks in moisture and humidity. The parafilm locks in moisture and humidity as well, but the buddy tape is like a one last really good layer of protection. In fact, I'm going to do two. There you go. It has an extra stretch. Extra stretch. You see that? Okay, there we go. Looks like we're done. All right. I mean, there's a profile view. And then here's the side view right there. All done. So guys, as you can see, it's growing off to the side. The graft is done off to the side. All of this is preserved. I didn't have to cut any of this away. So if this graft fails, if it doesn't make it, I still have all this growth to work with. I could still do another veneer graft on this side or up here or down here. I could do these veneer grafts. If I did the classic cleft graft, I would have to cut this away and I only get one shot at the graft to do the graft on this particular tree. Okay, so that's the difference. That's the reason why you do veneer graft, because it grows off to the side and you could preserve all this growth on your rootstock. You don't have to cut it back. All right, the graft I just did, the one I just did on video, is going to go in the shade, mostly shade. As we're leaving the winter and we're going to the spring, the weather is heating up. Avocado trees, especially grafted ones, a little bit sensitive to the heat, a little bit sensitive to the sun, especially these young 1 gallon container trees. That's why it's going to go in the shade, mostly shade, okay, for the most big part of the day. This is a shady spot right there. And it's going to live there for the next few months as I wait for the graft to take, okay? All right, guys, let's look at some results. This is what this kind of graft looks like a few months later. These are grafts I did last year, 2024, in the late summer to early fall. And they were kind of dormant. They didn't do much over the winter, and now they're starting to wake up as the weather warms up here as we're going to enter spring. So if the graft looks like this, you know you're doing something right. You're on the right path. This graft looks like it's going to take, and it's going to be successful. And it's really exciting when you see something like this. I get really happy. Look at that. This is when the buds pop through the tape. This graft is going straight to flower. This is, let's see what this is. This is a what do we got here? Helen avocado graft. Yeah, done a few months ago. Survived the colder weather of the winter, and now it's popping through. This is what you want. This is this graft is on its way. You want this. And look, there's buds popping, gonna pop through the tape down here as well. Here's another one, also on its way. This one is decided not to go to flower. It's just gonna go to leaf. Its buds are popping through the tape. I didn't remove the tape. I don't do anything to the grafts. This is Mother Nature doing its thing, popping through the tape all on its own. And that's how you know the graft is going to be successful. Which one is this? This is Gilmore. Oh yeah, the Gilmore avocado graft. done in this style with a veneer thing right here. That's where the graft was done. Got new leaves popping through. Very, very exciting to see. Here's another one, a little bit further along in development. I decided to do a longer scion here. This scion was maybe like 5 or 6 inches. I did the same type of graft though, the veneer thing. You can almost kind of see it through the tape here. And this one, that's where the graft was done there, and we got nice growth popping through. These are almost mature leaves on this graft. This graft is 100% gonna be successful. What I'm gonna do in a few weeks is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna chop off this rootstock stem. Okay, so let me show you here. This is the graft. This is the variety we want growing here. This is the rootstock. This is the variety we don't want. This is the host tree, and it's been powering this graft for the last few months. These leaves of the rootstock are the powerhouse. They're the factory, the engine. They get all the nutrients and the sugar and the thing and energy from the sun, keep the tree alive, and they contribute towards the graft a little bit. And then eventually I will remove this. Okay, one thing you got to do though is, if you want to redirect energy from this rootstock into this scion, into the graft, the variety we want, you got to come in and look. That's new growth from the rootstock. That's something the rootstock wants to grow itself. We don't want that. So what you got to do periodically, once a week, once every 2 weeks maybe, is come in and remove any new growth from the rootstock. And then this one too, and maybe something like this. And then that redirects energy from this, the variety we don't want, into the variety we do want. Okay, here's more of an example of what I'm talking about. Rootstock growth, new growth, we don't want it. I'm just gonna take it out, and there. More energy should go towards the scion down here, and that's how you deal with that kind of issue. Okay, and then here's one, the Reed avocado graft. Oh wait, this variety here, the one that's farther along. This is also the Gilmore avocado. All right, further along. And then this one is, I think this is at least 6 months, almost a year of growth. Actually, I did this graft last spring, and it's fully healed now. Look at that. Wow, that's what a healed one looks like. That's the front view, and then here's the side view. There's the side view. It's healed up really well. And then in this case, you could see I cut off the rootstock there. That's what the brown part was. That was the rootstock, the variety we don't want. And then this is all growth from the variety I do want. This is the graft I did. This is the scion. That is the Reed avocado. Okay, so that's what that looks like. I think almost a year, less than a year, I would say. Yeah, I did this graft late in March or something like that, March or April. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are the results. This is what this graft should look like if things go right for you. By the way, some of these trees are available. I have grafted varieties available to you. If you are interested, I have some of these varieties growing in 1 gallon containers, 5 gallon containers. Good trees growing in good soil, available to you. If you wish, just contact me. Let me know what variety you're looking for. I might have it. I have an inventory of trees here that I need to move. These trees got to go. So if you're interested, just let me know, and I can make them available to you. Good varieties out there available to all. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, if you like this video, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know how your grafting is going. And as usual, thank you for watching. You matter. You are important. Everything you do matters. So go out there and do what you love. Thank you for watching. Bye.